There's been something else on my mind I want to share with you guys. Actually, I don't remember what it is at the moment. I'm not very clear-headed these days because I haven't been well. But I don't usually ask for help, but as far as what to do about Amazon.com, I'd really appreciate your input. I do have a copy of the letter I sent them last year, to which they never responded. And I warned them that if they keep selling my book, my last book, they will expose themselves to litigation. So if any of you are a hungry lawyer out there, familiar with copyright law, intellectual property, literary issues, international issues, there's a British publisher involved and an American/Canadian publisher involved. Now, you see, there are some other businesses which sell secondhand books or remaindered books, such as Edward R. Hamilton. And I think I contacted them also last year and told them about this situation, and I believe they did get back to me and said, well, we don't have that book. And, you know, we know that, now we know that you don't want it sold, so we won't sell it. You know, that was decent of them. And I hadn't accused them also. I just advised them, because that was another large secondhand bookseller that I could think of. And I used to like to buy stuff from them in the past, and I didn't wish them any ill, you know. Amazon.com, you know, I tried to phone them, you can't do that. Tried to email them, you can't do that. So I had to snail mail them at their corporate headquarters. Now, along with my second husband, I helped do a lot of books. I guess I was his editorial, you know, partner. And actually I came up with a lot of the ideas and concepts and stuff like that. And I didn't let anything go out that he had written unless I gave it a once-over at least, which he appreciated, because an extra set of eyes are always needed for editing and proofreading and just finding mistakes, you know, no matter how good a writer you are. And I'm not in touch with him anymore. He was a very good writer. You know, a supportive partner who will give you constructive criticism is really invaluable. And I learned a lot from him about negotiating contracts and ancillary rights. I actually have worked in major publishing. I've been a small publisher myself. I've been a contributing editor. I've been a writer, and you know, I've got a good CV as far as all that goes. Technical translator here in France. This is not to impress you, just to let you know that I do know something about all of this, and I do have a legal background in the United States and over here in France. And I've been very active in the arts world and the creative world since the 70s. So, if you think, well, you're stupid, you know, you let the book get away from you, it happened over a period of several years with Velvet, and I did want to get it out. People had been begging me for really a couple of decades to tell their stories, and I got some very, very good feedback from these underworld people who recognized themselves in the book and were very pleased about it. And that isn't the only place I've written about people in the demi-monde. I've been at this for decades. I do this as a philosopher, an activist, a feminist, a humanitarian, as well as a writer, journalist, artist, whatever you want to call me. A lot of people are, with my second husband, we wrote under a variety of names. For all of the hundreds of articles that I've written myself, and the anthologies I've been in and stuff like that, I have frequently, I've used pseudonyms, but I have frequently written as myself, not always, but I've been married 3 times, so my name has changed. And in the writings with the second husband, we came up with all kinds of names, you know. Sometimes we were a woman, sometimes we were a man. I don't even remember all the various names that we wrote under. And, you know, if we did an article for a woman's magazine and they needed to hear from the female author, you know, I would get on the phone and be the author, even though he had written the article. You know, it was a team effort. And I would use his presence sometimes for when I was writing as a man. Not as often, however. Frequently I would just use initials and not let it be known that I'm female. And in the early 90s, I was nominated for the Pushcart Prize, which is arguably the highest English language literary honor in the world for a first novel in progress. That was a huge, huge honor. I was also invited to write for Saturday Night Live. I still have a copy of that letter in the early 90s. So I've been at it a long time. I wasn't exactly a neophyte. To have a project get away from me is not the end of the world, but it's painful and frustrating, and I'm very angry with Amazon.com. And if you'd like to help me fight them, you could make a lot of money, I suspect. I bet you they would settle. I suppose I could pay something myself also, you know. But I did that with Bob Helms, and he just took the $1,000 and absconded with it. And then this has happened to me before. I've paid people to do stuff, and they've just run off, and then they turn around and bite me, you know. Some people are like that. All right, talk to you later.